Hello, everybody. Great to see you back once again. Welcome back to another video from Exotic Astrology. Today is Thursday, 15th of June, and Sun has entered the sign of Gemini. So, today we will discuss about, yes, you guessed it right. We will discuss about God today. But we will discuss also how to go to him. Yes. What is the use of discussing about him if you don't know how to go to him? Yes. Welcome to the video of Jupiter. I thought I will post a photo of the planet Jupiter here, but then I decided what is the use of posting the photo of the planet there if I can directly post something related to that which is the goal of the planet. Yes. So, what does Jupiter represent? And before I begin, especially today, as I always say, that God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him and He will be right there. And that is what is said in this photo. When you have done everything you can do, that's when God will step in and do what you can't do. Okay. And this is a random quote which I had found somewhere. Maybe this is from the biblical tradition or from any other tradition. Uh, and I liked it very much, so I thought of making the video by putting this as the background. Okay, so now here, what is Jupiter basically? Why have I discussed Jupiter as the third planet? It is not it is not the third planet in the zodiac belt. Okay, sorry, in the solar system. I mean, now Jupiter is the largest planet. Okay, it's massive. It is huge, and I will not go into the technicalities how many hundreds or thousands or millions of Earths can come inside it because we have nothing to do with that. But I will discuss about what Jupiter is and what its signification is. Yes. Now, Jupiter is a very hot planet. Okay. It may not be as hot as the sun, but it is still very hot. Now, why is it very hot? Because it represents dharma also. Okay. Now, there are three hot planets. One is Sun, another is Mars, another is Jupiter. And all the three rule the three trines, the religious trines, the Dharma Trikona. If you do not know what is Dharma Trikona, then please go back to my series and watch the videos. Otherwise, you will be clueless of what I am talking here. Okay. Now, why is Dharma Trikona ruled by the hot planets? Because Dharma refers to fire in one way. Yes, Dharma has many connotations, as I had said in the video earlier. You can please go back to that and watch. But here, what I would say is Dharma refers to heat. Okay, heat is what kind of a heat? Is it the heat that is put while we are cooking something, or is it the fire of digestion inside? Yes, it is any kind of fire which sustains us. Okay, which uplifts us, which gives us the inspiration to do something in life, which gives us the determination, which gives us the strength. Okay, basically fire gives us strength because when you eat something, the food goes into the belly and then the digestive fire burns it and it gives you strength. Okay, now interestingly, Jupiter and Mars and Sun are also best friends, okay, with Moon. Okay, Moon is also very good friend of these three. We will discuss about planetary friendship and enemies later. But what I mean to say here is all the three fires, fiery planets are very good friends, okay. Jupiter, Sun and Mars, okay. We have already discussed about Sun and Moon, and now I will tell you why did I not discuss about Mercury or Venus today. Okay, and why did I discuss about Jupiter? Well, one of the reasons is today is a Thursday. Thursday is the day of Thor. Okay, Thor's day is also called as Thursday. Thor is one of the gods, as we know. Okay, in the European traditions and in the Nordic countries and in the Scandinavian regions. I will not go into detail on what Thor is, but this name has come from there, Thor's Day. Okay, that is why it is called as Thursday. Now, in Sanskrit, this day today is also known as Brihaspati Vara. Okay, Guru Vara. Okay, Guru is referring to Jupiter and Brihaspati also refers to Jupiter. Okay, and Vara is the day. Okay, Vara basically is the fire element. Okay, so Brihaspati Vara means the day which the day whose fire, the energy is controlled by Brihaspati. Now, who is Brihaspati? Brihaspati is Jupiter. Now, who actually is Brihaspati? Brihaspati is the teacher of the demigods. Okay, of Indra, Chandra, Kubera, Vayu. Okay, these are the demigods in the Vedic tradition. Okay, now what are the demigods? Demigods are the assistant gods. Okay, who help the Supreme Lord, God Himself, in maintenance of this universe. Okay, and who is the Supreme, the Almighty of all gods in the Vedic tradition? It is Lord Vishnu himself. Okay, the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the culmination of all the holy books, holy scriptures in the Vedic tradition, which was written by the great sage Ved Vyas, along with all the other books in his highest level of spiritual realization and maturity, under the guidance of his guru, the great Narad Muni himself. In that, he explicitly mentions that Lord Vishnu is the supreme amongst all. Yes, and that is how the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam begins. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisances to Lord Vasudev, who is none other than Lord Krishna himself. Krishna, Vishnu, or Ram, they are all the same. They are incarnations of Lord Vishnu, Ram and Krishna especially. Now, Brihaspati is the teacher of the demigods, okay, the subordinates, okay, the assistant gods, which are known as Agni, who is the god of fire, Indra is the god of thunderbolt and lightning, Varuna is the god of water and the oceans, Soma is moon, which is the god of mind and the six kind of juices which are present in the vegetables. Surya is the sun god himself, okay, and then we have Yamaraj is the god of death. Okay, then we have Shani, which is Saturn. We will also discuss about Saturn very soon. Okay, the coming 2 days, and then we have all the different gods and demigods. I mean, like we also have Kuber. Okay, he is one of the four Dikpalas. We will discuss about who this Dikpalas are, who these Lokpals are. Okay, there are different categories and gradations of higher authorities in the Vedic canon. Okay, so now Brihaspati is the teacher, he is the priest, he is the guide, he is the guru. Okay, the word guru means heavy. Okay, uh, because he is the teacher of the demigods, Brihaspati. That is why he is known as the ultimate guru. Okay, and that is why he is considered to be the most benefic of all planets. Okay, of course Parashara says that Venus is the most benefic planet. It is even more benefic than Jupiter, but I will tell you why Jupiter is the most benefic planet, because even though Venus is the most benefic planet, which represents materialistic life, material luxuries, comforts, etc., but Jupiter is actually the most benefic of all planets, because that is what gives you higher fulfillment ultimately. Because the planet which is supposedly the most benefic, which is Venus, as per Parashara, gets exalted in the sign of Pisces. What is exaltation? We will discuss about it later. But on a crude sense, exaltation means the sign where a planet performs the best, it is the most happiest. Those natural aspects of the planet come out in the best way possible. Okay, so Venus gets exalted in the sign of Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter itself. Okay, now what are the two zodiac signs ruled by Jupiter? The two zodiac signs are Sagittarius and Pisces. Okay, Now, what is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is the original ninth house of the zodiac belt. Okay, number 9 is Sagittarius. Okay, and it actually is the Mula Trikon sign of Jupiter. Okay, among Jupiter's two signs, Sagittarius and Pisces, Jupiter's favorite sign is Sagittarius. Okay, rather than Pisces. Both are its own signs, but there is one sign which is known as Mool Trikon sign. Okay, which means the planet is more happier to be placed there. Okay, it identifies with the traits of Sagittarius more than Pisces. Okay, now what is Sagittarius? As I've already discussed earlier, it is a fire sign. Okay, it is a part of the Dharma Trikona. It is a part of uh, the third, ninth, sixth, and the 12th houses. Okay, now Pisces is also the other sign of Jupiter, which represents giving up of things, moksha, liberation, final exit from this world, letting go of things. And Sagittarius is more of religion, spirituality, following things, doing your dharma, doing what is right, not breaking the principles. Sagittarius is the sign of law. It is the sign of the people who work in the law field. Okay, it is also the sign of long distance travel. Of course, it is also the sign of pilgrimage, etc. Now here Jupiter is ruling these two divine signs. Okay, very powerful and very sattvic signs. There almost every planet does good in these two signs. Okay, that's something very strange. These two are such signs where almost every planet gives good results or performs relatively well, other than Mercury, of course, in the sign of Pisces, because it gets debilitated, which means it performs very poor. Okay, poorly. Well, it does not exactly mean that Mercury is not giving good results in Pisces, but it means that Mercury is the planet which is the planet of calculation and statistics and accounting. So when it goes to Pisces, it feels that I don't need to calculate anything, because Pisces is a very broad-minded sign. It does not know who are the enemies and who are friends. For Pisces, everybody is a friend. Okay, so Mercury feels itself in a precarious state. Okay, because here Mercury is forced to not calculate. Okay, and these kind of things can lead to different results. We will see in the future what Mercury can do in Pisces. Okay, now Sagittarius is the main sign for Jupiter. Sagittarius represents all the noble qualities of Jupiter. Okay, it represents the gurus, it represents the counselors, the preachers, teachers, okay, guides, whoever is senior to you. Okay, and ninth house is also the house of God. It is also the house of your father. Okay, and the word God, which is known as God, actually means generator, operator, and destroyer. Okay, that is one of the abbreviations of God. And of course, there are many different meanings of God, and Vedic scriptures also define God as different way, as different in different ways. We will discuss about them later. Here, we will get a basic understanding of what Jupiter actually represents. Jupiter represents basically, in a sense, our ability to connect to the divine. Okay, it is our ability to take to some spiritual practice, to take to some spiritual uh, path. Either it is whichever, either it can be the Vedic fold, which is primarily known in today's world as Hinduism, or it can be within the Islamic tradition, which is the people who follow the Quran, or it is the Christianity tradition where people follow the Bible. Okay, basically, what are all the religions? All religions are pathways to uplift humanity. Yes, to uplift humanity in a way that they can benefit themselves and they can benefit the rest of the world. Okay, that is why the holy books consist of divine knowledge. They consist of divine principles, do's and don'ts, right and wrong. Yes, they teach us what is right and wrong. For example, you should not rape a woman because that is violating her chastity. That is wrong. Okay, who gives us that knowledge? It is the holy books which give us that knowledge. Yes, otherwise People would do anything they like. Of course, there are so many people who are doing it these days because they have disconnected themselves from religion. They've disconnected themselves from the higher source, from God, from divine wisdom. Okay, so when there is lack of wisdom, then the condition of the society, the situation that the society is today, is very precarious. Okay, the predicament is really very serious of everybody because nobody is following the laws of God. Okay, for example, in the Bible, the Ten Commandments, it is said that thou shalt not kill. When I speak of spirituality here, I will not go to any particular religion or any particular sampradaya or any caste or any creed or any particular sectarian tradition or any dominion. Okay, I will speak about the broad principles which spirituality encompasses in totality, irrespective of the religion through which it is pursued. Okay, now what are the basic principles of spirituality? Number one is, well, there can be so many principles. If I would list down in summary, it can be as the Bible has 10 commandments. Okay, thou shalt not kill. Okay, which means you should not kill human beings, nor should you kill the animals. Okay, now some people say that animals were meant for humans to be killed, or to be killed by the humans. Okay, and to be enjoyed, their flesh to be enjoyed by the humans. Well, you would not say this if alien species would attack the earth tomorrow, and if they would make a judgment of this sort that, oh, the humans are only meant for us, the superior species, the so-called superior species, okay, which comes and dominates the earth supposedly tomorrow, then you would not like it. Yes, would you like it if somebody says, oh, you are the inferior species, so it is our birthright to kill you and to dominate you and to suck your blood and to eat your flesh? You would definitely not like it, right? If you go out on the streets tomorrow or today or now and somebody plucks your mobile off or somebody beats you, then you directly go and complain to the police, or you go to the concerned respective higher authority. Okay, because you love your life so much, you do not even want a scratch in your body. So imagine how terrible it feels when these animals, which are mercilessly, brutally slaughtered in the slaughterhouses, okay? So it is nothing to be, it is actually something which is very pitiable that the humans consider themselves as the most so called advanced species among the species which have evolved as per the theory of evolution by Charles Darwin. Okay, so this so-called advanced species, okay, as they say, Homo sapiens sapiens, okay, they are the most advanced species, the self-declared advanced species. Yes, we don't know any other species which have declared themselves as we are the most advanced. Okay, but humans have done that, surprisingly. So this so-called advanced species, they have declared themselves as the pinnacle of evolution. Okay, and surprisingly, they do not care about the lives of other living entities. Okay, they are going on rampage, killing animals, killing the chickens, killing the goats, killing the cows, killing the buffaloes, and eating their flesh just for the satisfaction of their tongue. That is all that is in it. Yes, because if protein is the question, there are so many things in the vegetarian diet which can give us protein fulfilling in a fulfilling way. Okay, we do not need to kill animals or to eat flesh. Okay, in a barbaric way to satisfy our protein needs. Okay, and then apart from that, what is another principle you could say? In the Bible it is said, thou shalt not commit adultery. Okay, exposure to obscene, nude sexual avenues. It can be literature or anything in the internet, okay, or even indulging physically in person is not uh, allowed in the scriptures. Okay, of course, marriage is allowed. There is no problem with marriage because marriage is one of the dharmas, okay, of a person. If he cannot stay as a celibate, as a person, then as a person single lifelong, then he is allowed to marry once. Okay, and to stay with one wife for the rest of his life. Okay, of course some traditions may allow more than one wives. Okay, we will not go into that in late now. As of now, we will discuss about them later. But what I wanted to say is the principles of spirituality are universal and common. Okay, another principle is now gambling is prohibited. Why is gambling prohibited? Because that disturbs your mind, because you always have a tendency to win or lose something. Okay, ultimately the ruler of the casino house only wins. Okay, you may win for some time, but ultimately you lose. Okay, and even if you win, the other somebody else will lose. Okay, somebody has to lose in gambling, otherwise the match cannot go on. Okay, and the another principle is no intoxication, which means abstinence from wine, okay, alcohol, and all these other cigarettes and weeds and drugs, etc., because they make us very weak. Okay, they will torment us once they get into us. Okay, falling in the habit is very easy, but getting out of it is next to impossible. So why is human society crumbling, and why is human society giving in to these lower animalistic traits? Okay, because there is so much exposure in the world outside us today, externally. Okay, there is so much nudity in the movies, in the billboard that we go out. Okay, and because of which the lower sexual instincts, the animalistic instincts, are fueled by all these external sense objects. Okay, either it is through the movies or through pornography or through sensual magazines or through sensual novels, sensual literatures in the name of love and romance. They will flood the entire market, the entire society, the entire environment with feelings of lust, passion, and uh, despondency for sense enjoyment. Yes, and when a person naturally sees all these, okay, he gets a feeling that yes, I also want to enjoy like he's enjoying in the movie, but actually he's not enjoying. That's what is illusion. You feel as if he's enjoying, you feel as if he's happy, but he's not happy, because materialistic pleasure can only satisfy you for a moment. Okay, or for some short period of time. Okay, it cannot give you ultimate fulfillment which the soul is seeking. Okay, because of that, Venus, the planet of luxury and happiness and inner contentment and inner fulfillment, okay, inner joy, does not get exalted in any of the signs ruled by itself. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. It does not get exalted in Libra. It does not get exalted in Taurus. It goes to the house of Jupiter, the house of the Guru, the house of wisdom. Okay, to gain spiritual knowledge. And then when he goes into the sign of Pisces, which is the last zodiac sign, where he learns to surrender himself to God. Okay, basically what is Venus? Basically Venus is our ability to be happy, right? That's what is Venus in a sense. Okay, that is why it is the significator of the partner, the spouse, because it is expected that the spouse gives you happiness. Although many of the times it can happen that the opposite is true these days. uh, but traditionally this was the planet which was supposed to give you happiness. Okay, and it's still there today also, nevertheless. So why does Venus get exalted in the sign of Pisces? Well, we are talking about Jupiter, but we have to talk of Venus here, because Jupiter and Venus both represent happiness. One represents mundane materialistic happiness, okay, which is Venus, which comes through women, which comes through home, through luxury, through cars, okay. These are the things which satisfy people generally on a mundane sense, okay. And Jupiter signifies higher wisdom. But before going to Jupiter, I have to come to Venus first, okay. So what I'm trying to say is the great sage Parashara, who has written astrology, uh, has given the exaltation sign for Venus to be Pisces, okay, which means Venus is most comfortable, most happy in its most delight in the sign of spirituality. That means our happiness, as I said, Venus is our ability to be happy. So our happiness will be at the peak, will be at its pinnacle when it is in union with God. Okay, when we are close to God. Okay, when we are at least striving to go close to Him. Okay, now Jupiter is the planet which controls Pisces. So that means if you want your Venus to improve, you simply have to improve your Jupiter. That's the very big secret. Okay, it is not at all a secret actually, but still I am saying to you it is a secret. Majority of the astrologers will not use this secret. Whenever Venus is spoiled in anybody's horoscope, they will just give you remedies. They will say you do this, you do that, you go here, you go there, you give donations to women, you give charity to women, go and help women, do this for women, do that for women. No, those are parts of the remedies which are going to improve your Venus. But if you do remedies for Venus without taking Jupiter into consideration, it is like saying you are putting Venus in the sign of Libra and Taurus, which is its own signs, because you are only improving the physical traits of Venus. You are not taking into consideration its ultimate purpose, okay, the sense of fulfillment which it will ultimately achieve only in Pisces but not in Libra and Taurus. So that has to be understood here, because the Vedic scriptures say that Raso Vai Saha, God is the source of all pleasure, all happiness, all bliss. He is the origin of happiness actually. He is the origin of source, origin and source of all happiness, contentment. Because the word Rama, okay, who is one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu, okay, word Rama means the source of all happiness, okay. So, how can you be happy? Suppose you are very sad and you are sitting, but there's a person who comes and sees you are happy, you are miserable, you are sad, you are crying. But if you see that he is very happy, he is bubbling with enthusiasm, then you also become kind of happy, and you ask him, "Why are you so happy, my dear friend? What happened?" Then he will say, "Oh, I saw this, I saw that." Then by hearing his stories, you will also become happy, right? So that means happiness is contagious, as they say. If you see somebody smiling, you also feel good, even though you may be miserable inside, but you feel as if you also want to smile. If you see somebody laughing, you also feel like laughing, okay. And sadness is also contagious. If you stay with a person who is always depressed, you will also become depressed. If you stay with a person who is positive always, you will be positive. If you stay with a person who is always negative, always looking down, okay, then you will also look down on yourself or on others, okay. That is why we have to understand that happiness and distress both are contagious. They spread, and we will get them with whom we stay, okay, depending on the people with whom you are staying. Now, God is the ultimate source of happiness, bliss, joy, fulfillment, content, beauty, okay, wealth, prosperity. All the divine traits are found in full in God, okay. That is why God is known as the all merciful, okay, because the ability to forgive somebody is also in its highest quantity, and quality is in God, okay. And he's also the most beautiful, okay. He looks great, nobody can look better than him, okay. He is the most wealthy person. Why? Because everything that you have belongs to him. Everything that you have. Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Bhumi Rapo Vanalo Vayu, Kammano Buddhirevacha, earth, water, fire, air, ether. These elements are mine. Well, everything has been included. Okay, in earth, water, air, fire, ether. Nothing else is remaining. So Krishna is telling, whatever you see and you experience is all mine. Okay, of course, agenda of the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, is not to, by Krishna, is not to boast about himself, but to show the living entity how to go close to him. Okay. Now, why is Jupiter given the signification of God? Because it is the Guru who leads us to God. It is the spiritual master who leads us to God. Okay, that is why he and God are placed in the same position. Okay, same position does not mean they are same, but they have the same house. Okay, and why father also has the ninth house? Because it is said the father is the first guru. Okay, he is the first one who teaches the child about God and connection to the ultimate father. Okay, ultimate divine father, God. And then the father connects him to the guru, and then the guru teaches him how to go to God. Okay, and depending on the tradition, depending on the scripture which you are following, there are different ways and paths, methods to go close to God. Okay, but primarily, what are the methods? Okay, primarily, before discussing on the methods, I will speak of Jupiter. Okay, now, which is the sign that Jupiter gets exalted in? Of course, it is ruling two beautiful signs, Sagittarius and Pisces. Okay, as I say always, Sagittarius is what Jupiter is, and Pisces is what you ultimately become. Okay, when you follow spirituality, then you become very broad minded, you become very open minded, you become very contented inside. Okay, and you feel like giving away things. Okay, you don't feel like taking, you feel like giving away things. Okay, and you become happy and you become satisfied, your expectations go away, which is the ultimate sign of Pisces. And this starts with Jupiter, whenever with Sagittarius, I mean, when you are in Sagittarius, you ultimately become Pisces after a long time, no? So which is the zodiac sign where Jupiter gets exalted? Okay, Jupiter finds its highest exaltation in 5 degrees of the sign of Cancer. Okay, 0 to 5 degrees of Cancer, it reaches its exaltation, and in 5 degrees, it reaches its peak exaltation. Now, why does the planet of spirituality get exalted in the sign of heart and home and mother and emotions, which is Cancer, the original fourth house of the zodiac belt? Well, this means whichever spiritual practice you are doing, okay, unless you do it with your heart and soul. Okay, because they say that home is where the heart is. Okay, that means whenever you are happy, you are in a home like situation. Okay, otherwise, if you are not happy, you will not feel like going home. Yes, or if you end up losing your happiness when you go home, then you will say to your friends, why to go home, let's go somewhere else, my wife is shouting, my kids are shouting, let's go and chill out, let's party somewhere. That means that is your home with your friends. Okay, because home and happiness has to be together. Wherever you are happy, that is your home. Now physically it may be your home where your mother and father are staying, or at times it can be the opposite also. You may end up becoming more miserable when you go home. Does it happen with some of us at times? Yes, it happens with some of us at times. Okay, but here what Jupiter is telling us is, take me to the sign of Cancer, which means love, care, nourishment, okay, emotions, fulfillment, joy. All these are represented by the sign of Cancer. That means whatever spiritual practice you are doing, okay, that you have to do with your heart and soul. Okay, you have to do with your full joy, with your full power. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to achieve what Jupiter wants you to achieve. Okay, you may be in the sign of Gemini, or you may be in the sign of Taurus, or any sign Jupiter may be placed in, but when it is placed in Cancer, you will see these people can emotionally connect to the practices which they are doing, because emotional connection is the strongest connection, because that is where you are at your strongest, you are at the most vulnerable point, because you have fully exposed yourself. When you are emotionally connected with somebody, the connection is thousand times stronger. Okay, that is why connections between people when they are in a relationship or when they get married becomes very strong, because they are having emotional ties among themselves. Yes, so similarly you have to have emotional ties with God and with your guru, with the spiritual practice that you are doing, because when you have that, you will do with full vigor, full power, full enthusiasm. Without it, you will do it half-heartedly. Yes, because in the other extreme of Cancer, which is Capricorn, which is the original 10th house of the zodiac, which represents work. When Jupiter goes into Capricorn, it becomes debilitated, okay, which means it performs very poor. Means Capricorn is the sign of Saturn, okay, and Saturn represents the labor class. And if you see the labor class, you will see that they are just doing the thing because they want money, or they may do it sincerely, but their heart is not into it, or they don't love the thing which they do, or they even if they are doing it sincerely, but their heart is not into it. They are just doing because it has to be done. So if you are just chanting the name of God, Om Namah Shivaya, or Om Shivaya Namah, or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or you are chanting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, or whichever, if you are chanting the rosary beads, or you are chanting in the uh, any mantra in the beads, okay, any mantra of Hinduism, then if you're just doing it casually, just for the sake of doing it, okay, which is the sign of Capricorn. No emotions, heartless, just do it because it's to be done. My father has told, so do it. You will barely achieve any outcome of the mantra. You will not have success, okay. You may have, but it will take a long time to come, okay. You may get it, but it will not be of that quality which you could have got if you would have done with emotions, okay. Basically, Cancer, more than emotions, it represents your heart. So you have to be present there with your heart and soul. If you are going into a puja, which is a ceremony, a religious ceremony in the Hindu tradition, then you have to be fully present there. You have to be hearing what the priest is speaking. Even if you don't understand, you should go and ask the priest that, my dear sir, what did you speak just? Can you explain to me? Okay. Have you seen how the mother behaves with the child? Mother is very caring, loving, very nurturing. The mother is very concerned about the child. Mother is always obsessed. Oh, my child will come now. He will go to the college. He will come. I have to give him food. I have to give him water. I have to do this. I have to do that. You understand? So that obsession which the mother has for the child, that same obsession you have to have for spirituality. Okay. Otherwise, things will not be as you expect them to be. Okay. You may say, oh, I have been doing this spiritual practice for millions of years. From ages and time zones, I've been doing this from my childhood, but I don't see any result. Why? Because Jupiter is not in Cancer, it is in Capricorn, which is the sign of Saturn, where you are just doing things for the sake of doing, and you are just doing it because it has to be done. There is kind of a quota system. Okay, I have to chant 108 times this mantra, that is why I am doing. I have nothing to do actually, but just because I am supposed to do from my childhood, I am doing, or maybe I am born in a Brahmin family, so I have this holy thread around my body, so I have to just do it as a formality. As we might go to the office and do things as a formality, we may like it or we may don't, we might still do it. So if that is our attitude towards spirituality, then we can never ever have success. Okay, of course we can have success, it does not mean we cannot have success, but eventually you have to come to the state where you are doing it with your heart and soul. Okay, as I had said earlier, what Jupiter represents, that I already told, and I will now say about why does it give happiness. Okay, because God is the ultimate protector, okay, and He's the ultimate savior of everybody, okay, because we have the example of Draupadi in Mahabharata, which is one of the ancient traditions in the Vedic literature, one of the very prominent stories, one of the biggest, or not one of the, it is actually the biggest available book, I guess. It is more bigger than combining Iliad and Odyssey. Okay. So in the Mahabharata, it is mentioned that there is this story of Draupadi when she was insulted in the assembly openly, when Dushasan tried to disrobe her, take away her clothes. Then she called out to everybody, to Bhishma, Drona, to Arjuna, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Sahdev, and the king Dhritarashtra. We'll discuss about Mahabharata later. But none of them could protect her. Okay, everybody had some reason or the other of why they could not protect her. And then when ultimately she called out to Lord Krishna, then Lord Krishna came and protected her, gave her unlimited sari. Okay. And if you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will also find there is a story of the fruit seller. When Lord Krishna was a small child in Vrindavan, in Uttar Pradesh in India, then there was an old lady who used to come. Okay, she was a fruit seller. So she once saw Krishna and she came to sell the fruits. Okay, and when she saw Lord Krishna's beautiful face, she became completely lost, immersed. Okay, and then instead of asking money from him, she was just giving away all the fruits. Okay, she gave him everything, and then in return, when she went back home, she saw her basket in which she had the fruits were filled with jewels, gems, diamonds, emeralds, corals, rubies, lapis lazulis, and so many other valuable ornaments, okay, which she could have never dreamt of. So when you give to God, you get millions of times more in return, okay. That is why in Vedic tradition, the emphasis on charity is given very much, because basically, what is charity? Charity means when you do something for God, then later in the next life you get back. You know. That's why you see somebody is born very rich, somebody is born very poor. Okay, so God is ultimately the source of all happiness because He gives you ultimate fulfillment. Okay, because as I already said, Raso Vai Saha, that God is the source of all pleasure. Okay, anything that you desire in this world, okay, is actually coming from God only, because Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that yad yad vibhuti matsatvam srimad urjidameva. Okay, all the mama tejom shasambhava, that shloka is a very beautiful, very famous shloka, that whatever you see in this world, any glitter, anything which is attractive that you see in this world is actually coming from me. So he's the ultimate source of all attractiveness. Okay, so because of that, whatever we desire in its ultimate fulfillment is present in God, but we cannot realize that now because we are conditioned by our material instincts, okay, by our materialistic desires. Okay, God is like the sun, and we are like the people sitting in the earth. But the problem is our materialistic sinful desires are like the cloud. So whenever you see cloud, you cannot see the sun. Yes, the sun gets invisible, but if you keep continuing your spiritual practices, okay, and then one day you will realize that God, you were always there. Okay, only thing was I was not able to see you, and now you will be able to see Him. Okay, and what are the different ways by which you can go to God? That is a very deep, very vast subject matter which I will not discuss in detail here, but because it is the video of Jupiter, I will still discuss it to some extent. Okay, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the crest jewel of all Vedic literatures, okay, as I already said, written by Ved Vyas in full maturity of his spiritual realization, there are different processes mentioned. For example, there is Shravanam. Okay, Shravanam means hearing. Shravan means to hear. It is a counterpart of the Shravana nakshatra, which is found in the Capricorn zodiac sign. Okay, Shravan means to hear about God. Okay, going to holy places to hear, or going to the temple, going to the church. People say God is everywhere. Why do you need to go to the temple, or why do you need to go to the church? But then, what if the girlfriend says to the boyfriend that, my dear, I love you. Why do I need to show my love to you? Yes. Or if the boy says on the Valentine's Day or on the day of the marriage anniversary, the husband says to his wife, my dear, I love you so much. My love is all that you need. Why do you need all these gifts and presents, and why do you need a candlelight dinner? Yes. Anything which is there inside will also be seen outside. Yes. When the boy loves the girl, he will get the best rose for him or for her. And when the man loves his wife, he will arrange a candlelight dinner on the Valentine's Day, or maybe every alternate month, or maybe during their marriage anniversary. When a father loves his son or the daughter, then he will give everything to them on their birthdays, right? So, if God is everywhere, is He not there in the temple also? Yes. So God is everywhere. You are right, but we cannot access Him everywhere. We are not at that state. Okay. So we need to go to a place where His mercy is accessible. Okay. And temple is the place where His mercy is accessible. You can go to the mosque if you are a Muslim, you can go to the church if you're a Christian. Okay, then when you go, you meet holy people there, and from them you hear about them, about God. Okay, what God did when He came, or what has holy men done. You can read the teachings of the Bible. You can read the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Puranas, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Tantras, the Yantras, all the other books. When you go there, you get a chance to buy them, you get a chance to bring them home, and you get a chance to read them. Okay, and you hear from them. Shravanam is hearing. Okay, then second is Kirtanam. Kirtanam means chanting about the glories of God, which includes chanting God's holy names. Okay, Ram, Krishna, Shiva, whichever tradition you are connected to, or it can be in as per different traditions, and it is also speaking about God, as I am doing now here, speaking about God to you. That is how the kirtanam is described. Okay, shravanam, kirtanam, then smaranam. Okay, because in kirtanam what happens when you speak? Okay, you speak the stories of Rama and Mahabharata, then you are telling to yourself also, right? So you are reinstantiating those stories in your mind. Okay, the divinity is coming to you again. Okay, your divinity is also increasing by letting it go to others. Okay, then is smaranam, which is remembrance. Okay, whenever you feel empty, whenever you feel lonely, you should remember God. Okay, you should remember His beautiful form. Okay, whichever practice you are connected to. Okay, then shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam, then pada sevanam. You should go and worship the form of the Lord, worship the God in the form. If you go to a Shiva temple, pour water, pour milk in the Shivalinga. That is how you are offering your homage. Okay. If you go to a Vishnu temple, then do the puja there. Okay. If you are going to a Durga temple, then do the prescribed worship which is there. Okay. Then Atma Nivedanam is surrender everything yourself to God. Okay. Whatever you have. Okay. Then is Vandanam, which is prayers. Okay, all the holy traditions are filled with prayers of the great saints and the great sages. Okay, you can read the Guru Granth Sahib of the Sikhs. Okay, beautiful prayers are there, and then you can read teachings of Kunti Maharani. Okay, in the Bhagavatam, Dhruva Maharaj's teachings, Prahlad Maharaj's teachings. Then you can read about the great saints in the Christian tradition. For example, Saint Francis, one of my favorite. You can read about him. Okay, then you can read about the different prayers that different Sufi saints have addressed to God. Okay, and different saints in the Christian tradition, and maybe in the Judaism also, in the Jewish tradition. And then there are different other ways by which you can connect to God. Okay, and then how to connect to God? By seeing what you can do. Okay, what are your natural talents? If you like to sing, then sing the bhajans, sing songs related to God. Okay, there are so many songs in India. My God, you can always keep singing one song or the other till you die, and it will not finish. Okay, if you like writing, then write about God, preach about the message of God. Go to internet, go to forums, like go to YouTube and start speaking about God once you know the knowledge. Okay, and then if you are a good artist, then draw paintings about God, draw paintings on the pastimes, draw paintings on Lord Ram and Shabri, draw paintings on Lord Ram and Jatayu, draw paintings on Ram and Bharat. Okay, draw paintings on Radha and Krishna, draw paintings on Krishna and Balram. So many paintings can be made, thousands and millions of paintings you can draw. Okay, and what else? Whatever talents you have, if you like to cook, then go to a gurudwara on the Sunday meal which is there, where thousands of people come, and you can go and help in cooking there. You will feel a lot of satisfaction, happiness, joy, inner fulfillment, and content. When you do that, you will see it after some time. After you come in the night, and you will have a very good sound sleep, which you will not have for the rest of the 6 days. Okay, and what else? Connect your family to spirituality, your father, your mother, your brother, your friends, your relatives, your husband, your wife, your children, and then experience the ultimate fulfillment, joy, and bliss by uniting with God. Okay, and that is the ultimate meaning of yoga. Yoga means to unite, means to add, but what add whom? To whom? Add you to God and God to you. Yes, God is always there and you are always there. So add both to each other. Okay. So when you are connected to God, then Shitosna Sukha Dukkhana, as Lord Krishna says in the Gita, that the ups and downs of the material world will not disturb you much, okay? Because you become like an ocean. Whenever there is a flood, the river is going crazy. Yes. Basically, what is a flood? The river going crazy, right? That's what a flood is. But ocean never gets into flood, okay? Because the ocean is so vast, okay? Happiness and distress cannot impact you in a negative way, okay? And then you ultimately end up feeling fulfilled, contented. That is why you will see people who are deeply connected to some spiritual practice. They are very calm, they are very peaceful, they are very happy. They are not obsessed about material things. Happiness does not make them excited, nor do misery makes them feel depressed. Okay, so that's it from my side. I hope you like this video, and if you liked it, then please share it with your friends. And if you have still not subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe to it. And also you can click in the notifications button in the bell so that you can receive daily updates from my side regarding the videos which I make every day. Okay, and if you have any suggestions, queries, questions or comments, then please leave it in the comment section. Okay, until next time, bye bye, see you.